The gerrymandering, like just as a general concept, it's problematic, but like I don't really know how to get past it because everybody does it. So I struggle with this one.
Facts.
Like
Are you saying the Democrats like gerrymandering too?
I am, and like I get what it's for. Like in a perfect world, we could use this for for us to like have more political power, but like it just never seems to pan out that way. Gerrymandering consistently like works against us, and I haven't really seen it in my lifetime work for our benefit. And as far as like who's going to prison in Florida, because she did the black and brown thing a lot, I have a problem with that because black people make up about 40% of the prison population. Meanwhile, brown people make up about 12.
Let me jump in here. My homegirl went to prison. She's the white Mexican. She was classified as white in prison, not brown, white.
Yeah, like these statistics just ain't adding up to like these experiences that y'all are like projecting out onto everybody. That's not really what's going on here. Like, not everybody has a black experience. Like, if we're gonna talk about it, let's talk about how they're being racist against black people and brown people individually. Because, like, if we're gonna talk about what's going on in the prisons, that's not really a brown problem, as far as I can see. Unless we're gonna do something about it, unless we're gonna shut down these prisons. But it don't seem like she's actually interested in that. Also, who is she talking to, by the way? It seems like she's not really connected to like her own audience. Like none of this was like an appeal to black people to do something. I have a problem with that as well.
I'll just say this, man. I'll just say this, man. I think that what we're seeing is a direct extension of poll taxes, poll tests, redlining, basically essentially things that that were put in place between like I say the 1920s to the 60s, like that place where it was like black codes is over, but they're not really over, and sharecropping is still going on. But yeah, but then we have to find out how can we, how can we still maintain a certain political power and still keep these people at the bottom. In the Republican Party, the moderate one is built on that. Now, I understand that there are people in our community who are conservative. I understand that, who care about their people deeply, who want to see our people repaired and understand that something was stolen from us and something that's owed to us. But you can't tell me, you could tell me about the Democrats. I know about it. Our whole show is based off the Democrats and the left of the Democrats. They're anti-blackness. We know, we're not supporting that shit. But at the same time, you got Ron DeSantis, Lily Dickerson. He's a whole state. My grandparents are from Jacksonville, Florida, man. You know what I mean? Like they're from the Cotton Belt of Florida. So at the end of the day, I think it hits a certain place for me because it's like, damn, like, all right, well, Democrats ain't doing shit for us, all right? Republicans, certain things we may agree with or may disagree with, but at the end of the day, we can't have these black people obtaining this much political power. That's the issue. That's the issue. And to pretend that it's not an issue because the Democrats is pieces of shit is like your politics is off. We have no friends, man. We have no friends. And while I'm saying this, you know what? Hey, Pamela Denise Long, I know you're from the GOP, right? You care about reparations, don't you, right? You understand the negative effects immigration has on our community. You break it down well, you understand it, right? And you're part of the GOP. And you think that it could be a bridge built with the GOP. And you want us to go to the GOP when they're doing things like gerrymandering a whole state to not let black people hold political power. My whole thing is that, what are you doing for that? I'm not even getting that shit. I feel like we should have people on all sides of the aisle fighting for our collective interests. We're not the same, we're not a monolith, you're right. But staying on code or staying together means that we know that we need, everybody from all sides knows that we need to be made whole and be put into our proper position in America. But if I'm not voting for the Democrats, I'm not going to just flip to another party because this is what happens. Shit like this. Why am I vote? Why would I vote for that shit? Just because I may agree with one or two things that they, why would I vote for that? To really a party that would really try to diminish my power. Democrats do it too. So I left the Democrats because they do it too. They go to this party that's really doing it in my face. So I feel like, this is a wake-up call to Negroes that think that, oh, okay, the Democrats ain't shit. I know they ain't shit. I don't fuck with them. But the Republicans ain't the answer fucking either. And that's all I got.
You're right. I agree.
I agree too. And before you go too far, Bud, I just want to say, and this is why we have to be policy over party people. Because like John said, you can't just jump to the Republicans because they're not the Democrats.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who are just like, we should vote Republican to punish the Democrats because the Democrats aren't doing the things we need them to do. But there is a reality that the Republicans are actively working against us, and it's in a very overt fashion. Like, they are not even trying to hide it. Democrats, in a lot of ways, yeah, we can say they're working against us also, but at the same time, if we know they're both working against us, we still have to like evaluate who is worse. And in a situation where we have someone trying to take away our representation, our ability to like participate in politics on an even level, yeah, that just does not work for me. Especially if I'm serious about doing politics. I don't know how you can like justify this. So it's hard for me. Like, I hear a lot of Black Republicans. They make an argument about the Democrats, and I'm with them, but I can't just jump on that side. It just does not make sense until I see the Republicans try to make a serious change. I also feel like, I don't know, I'm conflicted about this because like at the same time I don't want to be like a vote tap, like one of those people like, oh, they're coming after our right to vote, so we need to go vote for the Democrats. Like, I don't want to be that person. And it's just funny to me, like, how the Republicans are able to cheat and disenfranchise us, and it doesn't seem like there's much of a fight being put up by the Democrats when they're in power. And this is not like this is something that's just happened in this election, because I mean, my first election was Gore Bush. It seems like in every election of my fucking life, there's always been some shit where the Republicans have been trying to do some funny shit with our ability to vote. And this is like an argument that Democrats bring up all the time, but then when they get into power, after we show up to vote, they aren't doing anything to protect our right to vote. In fact, they aren't doing anything to try to like skew the balance of power in a way to where they can actually do things to benefit us. I mean, when Biden got elected, they were talking about him possibly packing the Supreme Court. And he has a conservative Supreme Court right now. And everybody's worried about, like, even if we do try to like do anything that is like safety net or anything like for reparations or anything that is considered on the left like a new type of social program, is going to be challenged by the Supreme Court. So why didn't Biden and the Democrats like try to make an effort to do that? Like, it just seems like the Republicans are the only side that's really playing for like power here. And it's like, it almost like really, it's almost seems like it's by design in a lot of ways. Like this is all political theater where one side is trying to pretend like they're the good guys and the other side is just openly on some bullshit. And they're both trying to play their roles, but neither side is really trying to do anything that like moves the needle for us. But I don't know what we necessarily do with this other than like, I mean, we gotta fight both sides to kind of like we're in a quarter where we gotta fight everybody almost. And I know it's weird for a lot of people that are in like this space that we're in, because it seems like we don't want to make any form of allies. But part of that is because we can't trust none of you motherfuckers. Like we can't trust you because none of you are trying to do right by us. And you pushed us into a corner to where we have to kind of be like, the only way we are going to fuck with you is if you're all the way down. Like there can't be any questioning about your motives because we got shit like this going on. We don't even have a good option when we're saying we're dissatisfied with the party we have, because the other side is trying to fuck us. And there's no other demographic in this country that has that happening. They're being courted by both sides, and we are being rejected by both sides.
Listening to Reset Race, you now tuned in to Reset Race. You're listening to Reset Race, you're now tuned in to Reset Race. What? Put them back on the grill again. We grilling them. Put them back on the grill again. We grilling them. Put them back on the grill again. We grilling them. Back on the grill again. We grilling them. You're listening to Reset Race. ADOS need reparations to make America great. You're tuned in to Reset Race. We no longer starving while others eat off our plate. No. You're listening to Reset Race. We focused on our justice claim. We know what is at stake. You're tuned in to Reset Race. You'll find out who really about justice and really who fake. Lineage go back to US Southern plantations. Lineage, Jim Crow and mass incarceration. Redlining lynchings, we are old from this nation. You're not about justice if you ain't for reparations. MG the wise one, cousin mother intellectual. Samantha bringing fire, anti-black, we pressing you. No permanent friends and no permanent enemies. The backbone of the country, the win, you need our energy. You gon' see? Listening to Reset Race, you now tuned in to Reset Race. You're listening to Reset Race, you're now tuned in to Reset Race. Put them back on the grill again. We grilling them. Put them back on the grill again. We grilling them. Put them back on the grill again. We grilling them. Back on the grill again. We grilling them. You're listening to Reset Race. ADOS need reparations to make America great. You're tuned in to Reset Race. We no longer starving while others eat off our plate. No. You're listening to Reset Race. We focused on our justice claim. We know what is at stake. You're tuned in to Reset Race. You'll find out who really about justice and really who fake.
Until you do right by me, everything you think about is gonna crumble.
The president, he's got his war. You and me, we don't know what the war is for. Nobody gives us rhyme or reason, and if you have one doubt, they call that treason. Unreal values and fast extortion.
Join us on Patreon at www.patreon.com/Reset Race Network.